So, another episode of the Cosmic Evolutions podcast. I'm here to talk about whatever comes to mind for a few minutes. And what's been playing out on my field awareness recently is just a lot of resistance, and with resistance, I think, comes sometimes not a lot of acceptance. If you're experiencing resistance, it's because there's something that you're not accepting, something that you're fighting against. And in my case, the last year and a half, really the last year, I guess, has been very stressful. And a number of things have happened to seemingly take me off of my course. And that's okay. Because with every diversion and every detour along our road, wherever that road may lead, all roads really leading back to oneness, there is an opportunity to understand this density and this plane and these experiences that we have here on a whole nother level, on a deeper level. And sometimes when we're not applying a lot of the knowledge that we have, we can experience resistance. Or sometimes when there's another aspect of that knowledge that we need to understand before we can apply it, we can experience the resistance. And as long as you fight against resistance, as long as you swim upstream, you're going to continue to struggle. And I've been swimming upstream lately, so one of my primary messages at this time is that if you're experiencing any resistance and stress along your spiritual journey, try not to beat yourself up about it, because we can make the same mistakes over and over again, and we can get in a very toxic habit of beating ourselves up for not having seemingly learned a lesson sooner, or completed a cycle, or we can blame these things on retrogrades and all that sort of stuff. And astrologically, all of that sort of stuff has definitely an effect in the things that we're experiencing. But from the level of our conscious awareness, we have so many different factors that can influence our daily lives and influence the way we feel on a day-to-day basis, which of course controls the way that we behave and interact in this physical, dense world. And we can perceive that as very stressful. And I've known many, many, many very spiritual people that have struggled in that way. It's like there's a misconception out there that once you have a spiritual awakening, it's all roses from there. You can, as Neville Goddard put it, wake up inside your own head, inside your own skull, the risen Christ consciousness within. But here you are, still in a physical form. Problems still go on. Somebody bumps you on the street. You still have to provide for yourself. You experience the world as you would before. But now, of course, you're standing from a witness place. But that doesn't mean that it cannot feel, and will not feel, chaotic at times. And how we navigate these tumultuous experiences can also sometimes feel like a failure, because we don't know. We don't have all of the information. And so when we're swimming upstream, we can feel very much like we've gotten off track, or that we're just not doing a good enough job we're not spiritualing hard enough, we're not the awakened consciousness that we thought we were. Well, that's why we came down here to inhabit these physical vessels and experience these chaotic events, because the higher and higher we go in levels of density, these disparities in this resistance doesn't really exist. So, whether we came here to experience these things, or whether we came here to be a part of the collective evolution of consciousness and the movement towards unity consciousness in the Aquarian age, we still have to navigate what feel like our personal battles. And I think I just sometimes want to give encouragement to those that are struggling, because it's not a linear path. Life isn't a linear path. Healing isn't a linear path. And growth and challenges are not linear. And when we box ourselves into the understanding of these things as linear, we can face more challenges than we need to. And we can also, take the approach of, let's just let life happen. But when life feels chaotic, even when you're just trying to stand back, witness the chaos, regulate the nervous system, sometimes it just feels like it's not working, because events happen and life happens, and where are you then? So, you can meditate, you can do all these things, and still have those difficulties. So it's important to understand and to know that it's not a problem. It's okay. It's okay to struggle. It's okay to experience difficulty. It's okay to experience tension. It's okay to experience resistance along your path. And it's okay to have to go back, or to feel like you're going back, to learn lessons that you thought you'd already mastered. There's not only are we living in a time of intense solar activity, intense societal pressures, intense global awakening also, but we're living in a time that's just, in a way, speeding up. Time feels like it's speeding up, and time and space is a relative concept anyway. So wherever you are is exactly where you plan to be at this point in time, space. And the lessons that you come back to for repeated, shall we say, exposure, like in the case of addictions and habits that we don't like. We just have to understand that there is a direction that those challenges are leading us in that is ultimately going to achieve growth along our soul journey. And while sometimes it may not feel like that, that's exactly what's happening. So it's important not to beat ourselves up, not to think that, we have to find some innately spiritual solution to our physical problems. What we have to learn to do is to sit in the fire and experience life as it comes. And sometimes it feels like a peaceful rolling stream, and sometimes it feels like a chaotic whitewater journey. And we have to learn to ride those events and those waves, and eventually you do achieve mastery of whatever it is you're struggling with. But you have to also learn to appreciate the struggle, because a lot of times what you're experiencing and healing is something that you chose to take on so that you could work on healing in the eyes of the collective too. And as you tame something within yourself and find it coming back up, know that it's coming back up across the spectrum of the collective, and that may be why you're experiencing it again, and not so much that you failed or that you're backtracking. It's that we're all one, and as we all experience challenges, we all are able to collectively heal them and grow them together. So anyway, it's a little longer than I wanted to go on this one. I've been meaning to make another episode, and I haven't really formally gotten this podcast set up, with all the cameras and microphones and all that. And I may never do that. It may just be a discourse. Sometimes I may choose some formal subjects and put some slides up or something, or I may just come here and talk from time to time, and whoever takes the message and hears it and listens to it, that's fine. So I hope it serves somebody on their journey. So for now, take care and peace out.